My name is Jack Brzozinski, and this is my record label business plan presentation. So, when it comes to our business plan for the executive summary, our company's purpose is that we will distribute and promote our talents through the usage of their music, videos, interviews, and other content. The problem that we will solve is that we will help direct underground talent who are struggling and having trouble getting the exposure they desire and deserve, setting them on the correct path in the process. Our solution will be that our company will help to get underground talent more exposure to different audiences through the usage of marketing and networking. Target customers for our venture will be musical artists and their fan bases, which really is just people who listen to music. When it comes to our team, we're gonna have A&R, whose job is gonna be discovering talent. We're gonna have our art development that handles artwork. We're gonna have our business affairs team that handles the payrolls and everything else of that matter. We'll have the label license, which decides the release dates. Um, we'll have a legal and marketing department that handle copyright and promotion to make sure the songs get out right, and get a lot of traction as well as don't get stolen through the copyright process. And we'll have a publicity team which handles promotion, and then our sales team will oversee retails of whether it's streaming services, selling records in stores, any sort of that matter. When it comes to our financial summary, our financial investments will be needed in order to market an artist correctly and get them the exposure you would like them to have. When it comes to funding needed, we're gonna have to find an investor to financially support our startup process. Maybe we'll get an angel investor or so on and so forth. So with our products and services, our problem is that a big problem in the music industry in our generation today is that music has become all about performance, appearance, and visuals. So our solution to this problem will be to make sure our talents have the best appearance and performance skills possible. And on top of that, we'll also have top quality music videos produced for their songs that can attract a lot of attention and exposure. When it comes to competition, our competition is going to be existing record labels and studios will have better ideas and production equipment than us. So we will make sure that we can have the best publicity and marketing that we can receive. With intellectual property and patents, our company will need to trademark our label name to make sure our name isn't stolen, and we're going to have to copyright all of our talents, music and music videos, so on and so forth. When it comes to our milestones, in order to reach them, we're going to have to define our main goals and break them down into smaller ones that are easy to accomplish to eventually reach the larger goals that we set. So it's basically just going to be process, start small, build big. With market analysis, our target market will be musical artists and their fan bases, which are just people who normally listen to music. And our target market will also include those who use social media, and we will market the musicians that we represent through YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and any other social media platforms. When it comes to market trends, major record labels have been climbing at a compound annual growth rate of 5% over the past 5 years, including an estimated 3.7% rise in the current year, and it is expected to reach a total of $11.9 billion in 2023, with profits set to reach about 10%. So there's a lot of room for potential and profits to come in. Although it's an extremely risky and competitive industry with the music industry, no work, no hard work, and no risk equals no rewards. When it comes to industry analysis, 5% of the music industry revenue comes from streaming. Around the world, 616.2 million people have paid streaming subscriptions, which account for the majority of the industry's streaming revenue, such as Apple Music and Spotify. 47% of the global recorded music industry's revenue comes from subscription audio streams, while just 17% comes from ad-supported streams, which are streams from free accounts with ads. Music streaming is the biggest factor in our company and being as successful as possible and achieving the goals that we have set. For generating customers, in order to do this, we will increase awareness of musicians and the label by the use of third-party revenue streams, such as having our music like from our musicians used in movies, whether it's TV and video games. Also, we're going to use physical assets such as vinyl and cassette mixtapes, which kind of give it a throwback feel. and we will also create an appealing online experience based on real life products, which not a lot of digital labels have today. For our funding requests, when it comes to funding, we're going to need equipment, rehearsal spaces, and recording studios. So we're going to have to install equipment, uh, soundproofing, and giving our talents music rooms with a comfortable feel will not only make their content be created as best as possible, but it will motivate in the process to help them reach their ultimate potential. Another funding request will be crowdfunding, which is going to be recording, mastering, and producing the music, as that is an expensive proposition. As uploading an album on Spotify and other music streaming services can cost about $20 or more, and with physical CDs and vinyl releases costing even more. However, crowdfunding helps offset these costs for musicians while providing donors with a value added support for their favorite acts. Well, we will also need musical engineers, which will be professional producers who create instrumentals for our musicians to make songs with and ensure that their work created is the best quality possible. We will also need to have a professional team that manages both business and music correctly in order to be as successful as possible. And lastly, another funding request will be our merchandise, as we will need to have clothing and other ideas that represent the musicians that we work with, as having a large fan base can generate many sales that will also bring a source of income into our company and help us acquire more talent and develop the current musicians we have to a better ability. When it comes to marketing and sales channels, our company will use music distributors, record stores, online digital sales, and online record sales as our sales channels. For marketing activities, we will decide on a logo and a color scheme that will reinforce the music released by our company. We will also build a release schedule so that fans of certain musicians are aware of when their music is going to be put out. We will build awareness and develop our acts' personalities in the eyes of the fans. We will also have a pricing strategy, as our company will use pricing software to help us respond to fluctuations in the market and consumer demand, and tell us how our pricing can best evolve in order to maximize their targets for profit and revenues. Pricing will be based on how much time was invested to create the content we release, as well as how large audience are based on the musician. Also, we will have positioning. Our company will provide our customers with unique experiences such as ticket giveaways on radio, TV, and social media, as well as meet and greets to stand out and attract larger audiences. And we will also find a music idea we can own, such as having a showcase of multiple musicians who are signed under us. When it comes to our SWOT analysis, our S will be that we will have a team that can go all the way to give our clients value for their money, and a team that can make an upcoming music artist and a star within a short period of time. Our W will be, as a new record label company, it might take some time for our organization to break into the market and attract some well-known established musicians to sign under us. Our O is that the opportunities in the music industry are massive, and we will be ready to take advantage of any and all opportunities that come towards our way. And T will be that the internet and social media platforms now make it pretty easy for record labels that are both legally registered and unregistered to promote their company and attract new artists, as well as provide us with a ton of competition to go against in the process. For organization and management, our A&R team will be scouts that search for new talent and manage music recordings by pairing our musicians up with professional producers and collaborators. Our creative team will handle design of album artwork, photography, and music videos. Our marketing team will create a campaign working alongside press and promotions and social media teams, spending money to buy advertising, coming up with creative ideas to get content seen and heard. Our press and promotions team will focus on getting song release written about in the media, be that print, radio, TV, or online. They will also have relationship with TV stations, radio stations, and DJs to get songs played on as many streaming services as possible, as well as in the clubs on Saturday nights to attract the most attention possible. We will have our sales and distribution team, which will handle getting the music out to all the right places to maximize the chances of selling it to fans, as they have strong ties with record stores, online music shops, download sites, and streaming platforms. Our licensing team will look out for opportunities to make money from songs owned by our venture through sync deals and contribute them to compilation albums or film soundtracks. Our royalty team will process the cash made from various sources, including record shop sales, downloaded sales, streaming platform plays, and sync deals. They will also deal with data and metadata and work out what the artists and the collaborators are owed after a company takes our share. And then lastly, we will have our legal team, which will look after contracts between our venture and the musicians that we work with so that us and our artists are paid out the correct percentages of all the income that's brought in. When it comes to our financial situations, the profit and loss situations of our venture will predict the success of a record prior to its release, as well as analyze a project as it nears the end of its life cycle. Profits and losses can come through song and album releases, interviews, awards, etc. Our balance sheets will showcase our assets and liabilities. For example, investing into our company will not generate immediate profits, but will be an asset for years to come in our venture as it will help generate income for our company. Our cash flow statement will help determine how much money the venture will need to start and grow the company, as well as ensure that we never run out of funding. The use of funds in our venture will be broken down into recording, manufacturing, networking, and entertaining, graphic design, legal services, promotion, office lease, and office supplies, and lastly, administrative salary expenses. So there's a lot of use of funds. Uh, if all things don't work out and go to failure, we will have an exit strategy. And if we need an exit strategy, our exit strategy would be to have initial public offerings, have management buyouts, and sell the venture to another individual or an existing company. When it comes to our dependence is going to include the following. We'll have a startup label expenses, which will be the process of opening the venture. We'll have release expenses, which will be the cost of putting out content made by our musicians to the public. Our optional expenses will be extra equipment and team salaries. Our cash flow forecast will be how much cash the content that we distribute brings in after the initial release of it. Optional revenue streams will include ticket sales, merchandise, interviews, use of music and TV, movies, and video games, meet and greets, etc. Our profit and loss projection will showcase how much revenue we generate for the company using multiple different sources of income and how much we either profit or lose on our investments based off of those different sources of income. Overall, with this company and the right investor, the right team, and musicians, the sky is really the limit. And as long as everyone does their job correctly, there is an extreme amount of potential for success. So that is my business plan for a record label. I appreciate you tuning into my presentation. Thank you so much.